at 402-474-1173.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Whether you're booking a trip to Lincoln for a football game or a volleyball weekend, the Scarlet Hotel at Innovation Campus is the place for you. The Scarlet Hotel is special on many levels, from the delicious Well and Good restaurant on the main floor to the coolest rooftop patio bar in Lincoln, the Barred Owl, on the top floor of the hotel with great views of the city and one of the coolest drink menus. Book your stay or book a staycation today at scarlethotelnebraska.com.
Experience the Landmark difference with the next level of dealer support. Landmark, your local John Deere dealer, continually works to have parts on hand the first time you walk in the door. Our internal route system means we can get the parts to you typically same or next day to keep you up and running. At Landmark, we understand time is money. Get more uptime with our after-hours parts and service support on the phone or in the field. Our sales, precision ag, parts, and service teams are ready to serve you this planning season. Stop by your local Landmark today to experience the Landmark difference.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket as soon as the clock hits 0 for the Jay Foreman postgame show. Listen to expert analysis from the Husker Hall of Famer, an 8-year NFL veteran, for 90 minutes after the game. The Jay Foreman postgame show, sponsored by Tanner's Bar and Grill, Vinny Kreekak, and Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Why wait until Friday to start your weekend?
Go ahead, start right now.
You're thirsty now, and 93.7 The Ticket is here to help you stock up.
Just in time for the weekend when I like to hit the clubs.
Time to broaden your horizons and try some new wine and beer. It's Thirsty Thursday with Kevin Meyer from Meyer's Cork and Bottle.
There it is. There it is.
Daniel! I'm going to hear that.
Yeah.
This sounds pretty good too.
It's one of the best days of the week. Thirsty Thursday. Kevin Meyer is in the building. Strick is here. Myself and Austin. We are in. We're past the crossover, so I said this is Thirsty Thursday and old school. Kevin Meyer is in the building. That's one of the best sounds out there.
I got 30 minutes and 2 drinks.
I think that's a good ratio.
That's a good ratio. That's a good ratio.
Before I head down to Pinnacle Bank, stumble into the back entrance of Pinnacle Bank Arena. Let's go.
Man, this is going to be the smoothest broadcast you ever did.
Kevin, what do we got today, man?
All right, you guys want to try the beer or the wine first?
The beer looks like the beer looks like a fall beer. Am I right?
Yeah, it's actually a winter seasonal. Let's go ahead and do that first. This is from Sierra Nevada, which is one of the United States' oldest microbreweries. And this is their fresh hop celebration ale. And so instead of going the traditional route of like the clovey, nutmeggy, cinnamon sort of thing, what they do, they take the hops when they harvest them and they don't pelletize them. So normal hops, what they do, they dry them out, they grind them all up, and they put them in a press, and they turn into little pellets. And that's essentially what they make the beer from. Well, they use the whole cones. And they're about the size of the tip of your thumb down to that first knuckle. And they look like a little pine cone, but they're soft. And then if you break it open on the inside, there's these little yellow beads on the inside, and those are called lupulin glands. And the lupulin glands.
Remember that, Austin.
Yep. Those that's what gives beer its sort of hoppiness, the citrusiness, the bitterness. And so they just take those whole hops and they add it to this beer. And they tweak the recipe a little bit every year. So this is one of those beers that I make sure that I have to try every year.
Yeah, I like this, man. That's pretty good, man.
Celebration ale. What's a celebration of?
It's a holiday. Yeah. So a holiday celebration. It always comes out right before Thanksgiving. We just got it in today. I think first release in Nebraska was maybe late last week, but it was after our trucks had already come for the week. So we got it this week, and it's got a little bit of that kick on the back end, but smooth, a little bit caramely.
Very smooth.
It just, you're right, it does taste like a fall beer,
Yeah,
like
it
a
does.
colder weather beer.
Nice little ale. Do you know where ale comes from, Austin? You know what ale made ale famous?
Well,
Game of Thrones.
Ale.
Game of Thrones. We have an ale. Yeah. That's what they used to get drunk on, Austin. We about to get hammered in here tonight.
What's his name?
Ned Stark?
No. What's his name? The little guy from Game of Thrones.
Oh, Jon Snow?
No, the little short guy.
Yeah.
Bran?
No, the brand was the one.
Tyrion.
Tyrion.
Yeah.
Tyrion used to get busy on the ale.
He drinks and he knows things.
Yeah. I like that.
That's one show that I haven't gotten into, and I
better catch up. The new season's coming up.
There's a new one?
I've heard it takes a couple of episodes to get into it, and once you do, you're just
hooked.
Absolutely hooked.
Well, I got to go to Dubrovnik where they shot some of, I guess, in one of the castles there, and it was really dope. It was really cool.
What country is that?
Dubrovnik, Croatia.
Croatia. Okay, sweet.
Yeah, and they did some in Ireland too.
Yeah.
And then new one.
Fun fact: Croatia is the birthplace of wine.
There it is.
Look at that.
Look at that. Look at that. Look at that.
I didn't know that. I should have been out there.
Speaking of wine, where's this wine from, Kevin?
This wine is from a third-generation Italian wine-producing family, but this is the guy's venture into California. So the winery's in Napa, and it's called Dante, and he named it after his son. Dante, or the winemaker, is a guy by the name of Michael Pozzan, and this is sort of his California wine done in an Italian style, in an old world style. And this is his Cabernet. It's our new winery of the month. Just came in today, so I'm trying it for the first time that you guys are.
Oh, this is good. Let's see. Let's give it a rating 1 through 7.
Why is the rating 1 through 7?
Yeah, that's Jay's thing.
I
1
was
through
trying
7
to see
ratings.
how it would flow with the chicken. Don't flow with that.
This is easily a 6.4 out of 7.
All right.
I think it'd be good, a good nice steak.
This would be great with a nice ribeye or T-bone steak.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Nice cut. Yeah.
Nice
Thick,
cut.
medium too.
Yeah.
No, nothing medium, rare.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The only way steak is
this would hit with a good steak.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Well,
I gave it a 6.4. What'd you give it, Strick?
For me, with that red, good legs on it, 7.8, 8.1.
But Strick,
out of
it's
seven.
It's out of 7.
Oh, out of 7.
Yeah.
Out of 7.
What'd you say, 6'4"?
Mm-hmm.
I'm 6'8".
All right.
I'm Duncan.
I can dig it. Well,
not Tim Duncan. But
Yeah, Kevin, you're the wine guy. What are your thoughts on it? Your first time trying it?
I think it's legit. That little bit hoppiness of the beer didn't set up that first sip very well.
Right.
But once you get into the second and third sip, it starts,
it's
coming
smooth,
around
man.
on you.
That second was good.
And believe it or not, these are on sale at $12.99 a bottle right now.
Stop it.
Yep. So I think bang for your buck. Like if we're going value,
Dante.
then I would say it's right up there, 6.8.
You can't forget that, Strick. Just think of Dante Jones. Yeah.
No, that's actually
Dante's
good.
Inferno, I guess.
Right.
That's really good. I'm
Dante's
not a big
Carnecchia?
cab. I'm not a big cab guy, but that's a really good cab.
It's not a super heavy cab. It's more of a medium style.
Yeah, this is real good, man.
Mm-hmm.
Glad you like it.
It was a little sweeter than I thought it was going to be. I get some sweet hints, and it sticks with you. Like you taste it right from tip of your tongue to the back.
Yeah, it's so they have a kind of a wine geek term for that. They call it fruit forward. And it basically what it's a way of saying a wine has fruitiness without calling it sweet. Because it basically is, right? It has a little bit of sweetness, but there's very little residual sugar left. All that's been fermented out. The yeast consumes all the natural sugar and ferments into alcohol and carbon dioxide. And the carbon dioxide is allowed to escape, whereas the alcohol is not. So these are fermented into about 13.5%, 14%. So usually when they harvest the grapes, they measure a sugar content and acid level and all this stuff, and it's what they call bricks. It's BRIX. And so usually Grant Bricks. There you go. He should sign it.
And it's a red.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. So
NIL deal.
Maybe it's an omen. Yeah. But generally what they do to ferment a wine dry is that they'll ferment it to about half the alcohol as the original harvested bricks number. So this would be harvested at about 28, 27 bricks and then finished out at about 13.5 to 14% alcohol.
Was Bricks a dude like Richter?
That could very well be. It probably is, Richter scale or I mean, you name it.
All sorts of other scales.
Yes, Kelvin, Celsius, and all that kind of stuff.
It's a brick house. Yeah, it's a bricks house.
It's mate.
Yeah, just letting it all hang out. Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's
Can
where
you
they got it
dig
from. They did. That's where they got it from. I remember.
I totally know that's where the song came from.
Well, Kevin, man, I haven't been in here in a while.
I know. I miss you, Jay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Jay need help.
You outdid yourself, man.
Strick,
Well,
I'm calling a game that I got to chill. Also, Strick, down Jay's wine
Yeah.
in one sip.
Yeah. I mean,
I respect it. I just think it's funny.
2 drinks for one game.
Well, and in Strick's defense, the beer can got pierced when I shoved it in the ice. And so the side of the beer can was leaking all the way down here. So our portions of beer were smaller than what they would normally be.
There you go.
To your credit, you avoided disaster in the studio, and we appreciate that.
Yes. I got it poured in the bathroom and got it all cleaned up without making too much of a mess.
Hey, like they said, the great ones adjust. The great
Amen.
ones adjust.
Man.
Kevin is a great one. So is Strick. So is Austin, man. Kevin,
Good stuff.
I haven't been able to ask you, man. What's your thoughts on the season so far?
I like our grittiness. I like the mentality of the team. Obviously, I still think that they've got a lot of kinks to work out. That's pretty obvious, but I believe it's going to be pay Tony White season. I also believe it's going to be pay pot roast season. Because coming in,
pay bump or whatever.
Yeah, well, yeah, because coming into the season, the D line was the biggest question mark, and those guys are playing lights out, and so I like it. I came into the season thinking if we can go 500, go 6-6, that'll be improvement, and I'll be happy with that. And we're right in there to go easily 6-6. We could still go 7-5, and I'm happy with that. Year one, you can't ask for too much more than that unless you're Louisville.
it was actually set up to be special, but it's okay if you don't come out with a special season and you just have a good season.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Because
so hard to catch a
expectations-
heater year one.
Yeah, I get it.
It's
But it was
the
set up
odds are
for it.
against you, but it was kind of like, that Minnesota game got away from us, the Colorado game got away from us, and so then it was kind of like, all right, we got to put our boots in the ground and lace them up, and to be 5-4 at this point, I'm good with that.
I can respect that, man, and we feel the same. It's all good. So
Yeah.
Saturday has got to be on. But again, Kevin, thanks. Give us the recap on the beer and the wine.
Beer was Sierra Nevada Celebration. It's their fresh hop ale that comes out every November. And then the wine is Dante Cabernet, which is a 3rd-generation Italian man making his wine in California, but in the old world style. $12.99.
If you're a beer man, you would like that beer.
Yeah.
No
How
question.
much is a 6-pack?
Oh, that's a great question. I would guess probably in that $10 to $12 range.
There it
They're
is.
running about $2 a beer.
Man, you get some beer and some wine for under $30. That's a
Under
that's a
25
lick.
even.
Yeah.
That's a
Oh
good
yeah,
night.
yeah, under 25. That's a lick right there, Strick, right?
No question.
Yeah. Well, we thank you, Kevin. Another Thirsty Thursday. On and popping. I'm always glad to see Kevin, man.
No
I ain't
question.
seen you in
Me
a
too.
while, so I haven't seen you since we've been down here.
I know. I've been missing you, Jay.
Yeah. I've been checking you out. But thanks again for coming in. Thirsty Thursday. We're gonna hit a break, and then we're gonna jump into more old school.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Load up on meat and more this fall at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese and 84th and Havilah. This week's special through November 14th is spend $40 and you'll get to buy one, get one free on 8-ounce prepackaged sirloins. And don't forget to check out their Friday feast this week and every week. Plus, don't forget their 2 new locations now open at 30th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln and 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Tailored Lights is your go-to local manufacturer and installer of the best landscape lighting. Tailored Lights is excited to highlight the architecture of your home or business and provide a warm environment that feels safe. And for those outside the Lincoln area, they do ship across the country and are happy to work with anyone near or far with lights anywhere from 18 inches to 110 inches. Enhance your curb appeal with an exquisite tailored light today. Call 402-432-2572 or go to tailoredlights.com.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Experience the Landmark difference with the next level of dealer support. Landmark, your local John Deere dealer, continually works to have parts on hand the first time you walk in the door. Our internal route system means we can get the parts to you typically same or next day to keep you up and running. At Landmark, we understand time is money. Get more uptime with our after-hours parts and service support on the phone or in the field. Our sales, precision ag, parts, and service teams are ready to serve you this planning season. Stop by your local Landmark today to experience the Landmark difference.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
Problem gambling affects millions of Americans daily, of all ages and walks of life. If you or a loved one is struggling with addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center's 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300. That's 402-476-2300.
This is your High School Minute.
With your Southeast Community College High School Minute, I'm Harrison Arns. Switching over to football on Friday, November 3rd in Class A, number 6 Lincoln East would fall to number 3 Elkhorn South 24-19. In Class B, number 9 Norris lost to number 1 Bennington in a close one, 23-20. And number 2 Waverly would advance to the semifinals after dominating in a win over Hastings, 45-21. Switching to volleyball, here are your 2023 state champions. In Class A, Lincoln Southwest won in their championship game over Papillion La Vista. In Class B, Omaha Scott will continue their dominance in recent history, winning over Norris in 3 sets. In Class C1, Minden won over Kearney Catholic in 5. And in Class C2, Lincoln Lutheran won over Clarkson Lay for its 3rd straight championship. This has been your Southeast Community College High School Minute. Learn more today at southeast.edu with locations in Lincoln, Beatrice, and Milford.
Whether you're booking a trip to Lincoln for a football game or a volleyball weekend, the Scarlet Hotel at Innovation Campus is the place for you. The Scarlet Hotel is special on many levels, from the delicious Well and Good restaurant on the main floor to the coolest rooftop patio bar in Lincoln, the Barred Owl, on the top floor of the hotel with great views of the city and one of the coolest drink menus. Book your stay or book a staycation today at scarlethotelnebraska.com.
Is your backyard ready for fun with friends and family this fall? GE Landscape Supply has pavers and boulders, which are a great accent for any landscaping project. And you can find them at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction materials. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere, nearby or far away. Stop by at 6701 Cornhusker Highway from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday to Friday. Go to gelandscapesupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627.
College football in Lincoln, America. The time has come. Start your game day off right with the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the ticket crew as they bring you all the coverage you need to get you ready for the action. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show, powered by Sunbelt Rentals. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group of BHHS Ambassador, Select Plumbing, Jimmy John's, Lincoln Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits, Fleet Feet, Yours Cheese Spread on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up? This is Old School, Jay Foreman. My main man, Austin 316 on the ones and twos. DP is out handling some business. We are brought to you by the Mercado Certified Piedmontese Special Ingredients and Butcher Shop, located at 84th and Havelock and 30th and Yankee Hill. I always say every type of meat and every type of cut. We want to thank Kevin Myers for coming by like he always does, Thirsty Thursday. Wish Strick good luck on his call tonight on Big Ten Plus. He does an excellent job, so hopefully he's be able to parlay that into some more stuff. But before we jump into our picks this weekend, we'll do that in the 5 o'clock hour. We want to touch on some NFL stuff right now. I think there's some interesting stuff going on in the NFL, and if you don't follow it closely, obviously it's Huskers all day, every day. But there's a lot of things going on in the NFL, both on the field, in the locker room, within organizations. The very first one I want to ask you about, Austin, which hits near and dear to you, a linebacker, Shaq Leonard, came out and said he's frustrated over his diminished role. So Shaq Leonard burst onto the scene his rookie year, played well, re-upped his contract, hurt his back, and just never is really kind of, last year he shut it down real early. Wanted to come back, but then he shut him down. Now you got a new coach, new regime, high cap number, high in age in NFL years, which I would say the dog years. And he was always built like a third down linebacker, 6'3". They had him at 225. My man was about 210. And that was his deal because he was a turnover and factor machine. What I mean by that, tip balls, interception himself. Sack force, fumble recovery. Obviously, is really well active in the regular defense as well. I was reading an article this morning where they said that they've been taking him off the field on third downs. Now, as the season's been winding down, and whether they're going to make the playoffs or not is probably obviously up in the air at best. And now he's not playing first and second down. And he's I wouldn't say he's an iconic figure, in Colts. But he's well known with this new era of Colts after Andrew Luck, so forth and so on. What do you think about that, being a diehard Colts fan?
Man, I got a lot of thoughts on this. So I loved the trade for DeForest Buckner a few years ago, but I never thought he would supplant Shaq Leonard as the face of that defense. Big DeForest Buckner guy, great player, love what he's brought to Indy on and off the field. But from being an F- draft pick by all the post-draft people to becoming an all-pro that quickly, wreaking that much havoc, differently than Freeney or Mathis did it, from that kind of weak side off-ball linebacker spot. It was fun to see him prove people wrong, to give props to Chris Ballard for making that pick. The way that I view this whole situation is Andrew Luck meets Kenny Moore. So we all know with Andrew Luck, the injury, tried to come back, didn't work, ultimately had to end up shutting it down.
Right.
This injury wasn't supposed to be Andrew Luck-ish. It was supposed to resolve, but it's overcompensated. It's lingered.
Yeah.
So there's that aspect of it. I don't know if disgruntled is the right word, but the change in role, I guess, obviously comes from being diminished physically. But last year, so Gus Bradley's the DC in Indy. Kenny Moore struggled last year. He's a really good slot corner, one of the best in that business, plays some nickel as well. Wasn't necessarily getting the snaps he wanted, wasn't making the plays, wasn't used in the way that he had been and was successful before. What Kenny Moore did, what Gus Bradley did, was they sat down, they got a plan together. Kenny Moore just had two pick sixes against Carolina.
Sure did.
Back to playing at an all-pro level. So I think you're seeing kind of the mix of those two situations with Shaq Leonard.
Right.
Going to be hard to trade him as big as that contract is for someone that's diminished like that. Breaks my heart. Shaq seems like a really good dude in the community.
He is phenomenal in the community.
Really good head on his shoulders. Great story to root for. He was a little upset that he didn't start with Zaire Franklin out, but Zaire plays middle linebacker, really captains that defense, whereas, Shaq Leonard is an off-ball guy. it makes sense. It breaks my heart. I was definitely rooting for that guy.
Right.
Should have been a big piece off the edge. But it just makes it that much more important for like a Kwity Paye or a Deo Yigbo or Ade from Northwestern to step up.
Yeah, well, I mean, when you look at his production, obviously he came out like gangbusters in 2018. Now, 163 tackles, 7 sacks, 4 forced fumbles, 2 fumble recoveries, 2 interceptions. You ain't getting much better than that right out of the get-go. Now, granted, you're playing a lot of snaps, but he's definitely producing. Then he backs it up 121, 132, 122, all starting more. The lowest he's ever started in the season was 13 games.
Mm-hmm.
Then the injury happened. He only played 3 games, right? Okay, it happens. And then this year, he plays in all 8 games and has 56 tackles. That's 7 tackles a game. That dude still can play.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's one of those things like we just talked about with Strick in the Raiders and Derek Carr. Instead of sending him home, they're just diminishing his role. So I think with him, he just got to just stay focused and stay positive. And when, it's still a long season left.
Mm-hmm.
When he gets his chance, he's got to continue to produce.
It's interesting too to have ascended that quickly, and I think we see this with athletes.
You see
across
it all
sports,
the time in the NFL, though.
Right?
Yeah,
where you're a hot shot, you're the next big thing. And again, we talk about the good head on his shoulders. Sometimes I'm sure it'd be hard to adjust to, hey, I'm just a role guy. Hey, I'm just another one of those dudes. When he was at the top of the sport in Defensive Player of the Year conversations.
Oh yeah,
and that's not to say he's stuck at, like you said, 7 tackles a game is nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah,
he's around the ball. He's making some plays, but you don't just get paid for tackles. You get paid for sacks. You get paid for disruption. And he's being paid like it. If it was a contract year, maybe it'd be a bigger deal. But my hope would be that he can take that step back mentally and say, hey, maybe I'm not fully healthy. Let me get fully healthy.
Yeah.
I'll show them what I can do, as I keep getting healthier. I'm still the disruptive playmaker.
Because this is only a sixth year in the league. So he has plenty of tread left on the tire. He just got to, obviously, get physically healthy and then go from there. And I think that's why he's probably frustrated, because he maybe feels that he's physically healthy. The production is there. And also being taken out on third downs, that means you're being taken out probably 50 to 60% of the game, because of everybody runs 11 personnel, sometimes 12 personnel. So you most likely won't be in the game. So, he understands, that this business, he probably hates it because with the new regime, he wants to prove himself to himself. And I know he has a ton of respect in that locker room, but I just felt it was very interesting that you go and take a figurehead player that's one of the guys that's probably on your unity council or leadership council and seek him out and not only say, okay, we only need you to play on first and second down. Now we're going to split your reps on first and second down. It's almost like they're cashing in on the season. Look, once you get past like year 4 or 5, you become a veteran. You start to think about winning and how much longer you can play. And so, it sucks for him. He isn't the first, won't be the last. And there's no loyalty in this game of NFL or professional football. So if there's anybody out there listening, you need to make sure that you adhere to that. The other interesting story I want to ask you about, Austin, is one I think that has a 2-part significance, right? And it's the Tennessee Titans, Ryan Tannehill. Last year when they drafted the young man from Liberty, Ryan Tannehill came right out and said, I'm not here to be your mentor. I'm not here to help you. I won't help you. And, essentially won the starting job. And he had the starting job.
Yeah.
Now this year they draft Will Levis, right? Mr. Mayonnaise in your coffee. Slipped through the first round. They got him as a pretty much more than a value pick in the second round. He finally gets to start, turns it out. Vrabel says Levis is the starter. Ryan Tannehill will say, you know what, I'm going to be a good mentor and I'm going to help him out as much as possible. See, to me, that's bullcrap, right? And you look, everybody's been in that position, Ryan Tannehill, because when you were in Miami, you needed a veteran. And you were on the chopping block because you couldn't produce, right? Because you remember, he only played 1 year at quarterback. He was a former receiver and kind of just was a product of supply and demand. Ended up going first round. You get your shot. Now you forgot who you are and where you came from. Now all of a sudden you're going to pick and choose when you want to be a veteran and who you want to be a veteran to. Now maybe the sense of reality of when they tell you you're not starting anymore, all of a sudden you become Mr. Nice Guy and trying to be a veteran. But that should be in you, because if you are truly confident in your skill, you should not help the other player because you already know that you're better than him. Your salary cap number was higher.
Mm-hmm.
If they were going to cut you and you weren't going to be the starter, you wouldn't be on the team at that point in time. As far as last year, it just shows the reason why he's probably never taken that team to the level when they've had one of the top defenses, a Hall of Fame running back, a great offensive line when they were healthy a few years ago, and then obviously receivers that can do work as well.
I love turmoil in Tennessee. I'm sure you do too. I don't think there's any love lost for that organization, given our rooting interests. The cynical view on what Tannehill was doing, maybe it's the realistic one. Again, I don't know the guy's head. Malik Willis versus Will Levis. You don't think it would come down to race?
Yeah.
In the worst case scenario, I don't want to say that, but I'm just saying it's there. Maybe two, one of the worst cases is that he is just being fake about it. Right. He's acting, good to the media this time because he took a hit before. He's not actually going to do it, and he's going to sulk on the bench and not help. Maybe, just maybe, his eyes are open to where, okay, maybe my time has come. They actually are going with this guy. Okay, I'm a year older. I'm a year wiser. I can accept this role better now than I did before. But my question for Tennessee would be, if you thought this was a possibility, and if you're at all worried about him, playing nice to the media but not actually helping mentor Will Levis, why didn't you trade him?
Right.
I would think that New York could have given you something, anything. I would like to think Minnesota would have given you more for Tannehill than they gave up for maybe slightly underrated, but still Josh Dobbs.
Right.
So I think there would have been opportunities for them to get something for him instead of having to worry about, hey, is this change of heart real?
Yeah, and I think it was maybe just a desperate attempt by Tennessee to try to save their season. I think with Ryan Tannehill, he's been okay. He hasn't really been good this year. He's played one game in a loss where he's thrown for over 250 yards. Everything has been 240 and under 200 yards. And so, especially that Baltimore game, he looked horrible. Mm-hmm. And then obviously Will Levis comes in two games in a row, over 250. Then also uptick in Derrick Henry's work too. So they're trying to get back on the right path. I just think, I wouldn't say it come down to race. I think it came down to Ryan Tannehill was way too comfortable being a D-head in who he was. He kind of probably wasn't really truly threatened by Malik Willis, right? He's bigger than Malik Willis. Malik Willis needed some development a year or two down the road. Then here comes Will Levis, right? Then it becomes real because when you have these conversations, I had a conversation with my agent when Buffalo drafted Corey Moore, right? And he said, listen, it's going to be a competition, but don't think that they didn't draft that dude to think that he's going to get your spot. I was like, okay, well, at least I know where I'm at. His agent probably had to tell him, listen, this is your last year. So in order that you need to play really well, if not, you need to try to be a mentor because he's probably fixated in Nashville.
Right.
He's married,
family there,
kids in school, so you want to stay there as long as possible. And when you saw Will Levis go in there and the energy that Will Levis played with, 4 touchdowns and all that stuff, reality set in. And that's why you have the change of heart. Watching him talk, I don't think he's truly there yet. Understandably. You know what? I'd rather him be mad that he's not starting and toe the company line than him be okay with sitting on the bench.
Mm-hmm.
Because you really want to truly a competitor. So I just think Ryan Tannehill always rubbed me wrong last year, just the way he handled it, because it was unnecessary.
It was an unforced error. And to your point, too, if Malik Willis was that far along and wasn't a threat, you would think that Ryan Tannehill would be more willing to help him because he doesn't feel threatened. It could be an easy way to earn some brownie points with your relation. But maybe this year with Will Levis, he got, I don't want to say used to, but almost used to them taking a quarterback behind him. So he'd been through it once. Maybe he knows how to handle it better. Maybe see some of himself in Will Levis. I don't know. Yeah. But it seems like if I were in his shoes, it would have been reversed. Right? I would have been more willing to help the first guy. But then, really, you went and got another one?
Yeah.
What's up with that, GM?
Yeah, I would have had more power to go up in there to say, listen, I played the company role, helped him. We have a pretty good combination, knowing in the back of my mind I'm better than the dude. I'm trying to buy myself some time.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they really saw how it reacted. And then also he didn't play really that well last year and was suspect at best this year.
Mm-hmm.
And it made them, and also what people don't understand, when you draft a quarterback, it gives the powers that be more time.
Another 3 years?
3 years to say, listen, we got to develop them. So when the owner's like, why aren't we good? I told you we just drafted this quarterback. So there's a lot of things and moving parts go into it. It's a good NFL segment. We're going to take a break, come back, and then at the short segment, I'm going to ask Austin, I want you to think about CJ Stroud. And I want you to give me your scale, on the Jay Foreman scale, 1 to 7, his chances of winning the MVP, because my man is off the chain. Think about that. Jay Foreman, Austin, Old School. We'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
After a long, hot summer, are you ready for fall? What about your home? Is your heating system ready for cooler temperatures ahead? Be sure and call Bryant for your fall heating check. No matter what brand of equipment you own, Bryant's trained technician will thoroughly clean and inspect your furnace or heat pump to make sure you stay warm and comfortable. Call today to schedule your home heating check. 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. 467-1111. We do whatever it takes.
Problem gambling affects millions of Americans daily, of all ages and walks of life. If your loved one is struggling with addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center's 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300. That's 402-476-2300.
Load up on meat and more this fall at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's special through November 14th is spend $40 and you'll get to buy one, get one free on 8-ounce prepackaged sirloins. And don't forget to check out their Friday feast this week and every week. Plus, don't forget their 2 new locations now open at 30th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln and 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town. Constructors Inc., a Nebco company, is now hiring heavy equipment mechanics to maintain fleet equipment and vehicle operations. Constructors offers mechanics a competitive salary, 4-day work weeks with overtime options, a $5,000 hiring bonus, a tool allowance, and great benefits. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. Apply today for their mechanic positions. Visit constructorslincoln.com.
College football in Lincoln, America. The time has come. Start your game day off right with the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the Ticket crew as they bring you all the coverage you need to get you ready for the action. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show, powered by Sunbelt Rentals. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group of BHHS Ambassador, Select Plumbing, Jimmy John's, Lincoln Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits, Fleet Feet, Yours Cheese Spread on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Whether you're looking for a place to stay for a concert at PBA, a Nebraska home game, or just a night on the town, the Courtyard Lincoln Downtown Haymarket is the place for you. Enjoy an evening at one of many restaurants or bars within a short walking distance. Business travelers at the hotel will enjoy free high-speed internet access, a 24-hour business center, and large in-room workstations. And check out the Bistro, where you'll enjoy healthier food and beverage options, as well as high-tech conveniences. Book your room today at the Courtyard Lincoln Downtown Haymarket.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
So I switched my insurance to State Farm, and get this. I talked to an actual State Farm agent who lives in my actual town. And get this. My actual agent in my actual town gave me actual help with the coverage I needed. And get this. My actual agent in my actual town who gave me actual help actually knows my name. And get this. They actually say it's called service.
Call your local State Farm agent, Vinny Kreekak, at 402-474-1173.
Is your backyard ready for fun with friends and family this fall? GE Landscape Supply has pavers and boulders, which are a great accent for any landscaping project. And you can find them at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction materials. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere, nearby or far away. Stop by at 6701 Cornhusker Highway from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday to Friday. Go to gelandscapesupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627.
Ironhide Construction is hiring. They're looking for hardworking, self-motivated individuals who are team players. Ironhide Construction has openings for an experienced project manager, estimator, apprentice, skilled laborer, and erector or installer. They will train the right people and make sure you understand the position and requirements. At Ironhide Construction, it's own it, be honest, and do it right. Apply today and learn more about their other benefits at ironhideconstruction.com, where they're committed to you every step of the way.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up? We are back. Jay Foreman, Austin on the ones and twos. Old school, quick segment before we get to the top of the 5 o'clock hour. Again, I want to thank Kevin Meyer, Cork and Bottle. Appreciate him coming in on Thirsty Thursdays. I haven't seen Kevin, it seemed like forever. So I forgot to give him a little big bro hug, but I'll get him next time. Strick is going down on Big Ten Plus, so tune into him tonight or subscribe. Nebraska's playing Florida A&M Rattlers. And so
post-game coverage here afterwards. Bach and I got it.
Yeah. Post-game coverage of Austin and Bach. So it's all good. And also, be on the lookout for some, I guess, I don't know, we'll call it new news, but, as we move towards the end of this year, we'll start to do some different things around the ticket. The podcast room is up. So, I didn't even know it. I saw Nick back there. So, that's going to be on and popping. And, before we go even any further, I gave Austin the few minutes to think about C.J. Stroud. And here's why, Austin. Well, every time I watch, I think C.J. Stroud's story is awesome. He was in 7-on-7, and I guess from California, they'll have you from all over. They were playing in a 7-on-7 tournament, and Ohio State was recruiting some of his teammates, 7-on-7. Well, they were like, you need to look at my boy. And he wasn't getting recruited. So they fell into C.J. Stroud. You got to think, C.J. Stroud had to replace Justin Fields, had to go into a quarterback battle. From what I heard, he was always ahead, but he still had to be challenged. Mm-hmm. And he answered the challenge. Then he goes to the NFL draft process. They started the whole stuff. Isn't smart, doesn't process, didn't do well on the Wonderlic test. He said, listen, I'm not here. I'm not a test taker. I'm a football player. And now you see him. And, when you have a couple games, okay, he seems to be getting better. Mm-hmm. 450 yards, comeback win against Tampa Bay Bucks at home. The city of Houston is off the charts. They got it, and he's a leader, though. That's the thing. So I wanted to ask you, what do you think his chances are on a scale of 1 to 7 to be legitimately in the MVP race?
I think...
From your Colts
my Colts perspective, I give him I'll do the strict negative 7.3. No, I would give him right now a 2, super long shot, but with the caveat that can climb if he keeps it up, because if he keeps it up, Houston's not going to factor in just the playoff race, or they're going to challenge Jacksonville. Yeah. They're going to do it. Would I put my money on it right now? No, but as much as I'm rooting against the Texans,
right,
I do feel somewhat vindicated in saying I wanted C.J. Stroud.
Yeah, you did. I
was adamant about that beforehand. So it sucks to see him go to Houston. I do like being right in my prediction that he's going to be good. Right. I think he has the leadership qualities to do that comeback at home. I'm sure some people would say, oh, it's easier. You're at home. The crowd's not against you. Well, if you fail, the crowd's against you.
Yeah.
You had it all right there. The poise was there. The arm was there. The play calling was there. I wish he played for any other team outside of the division so I could really root for him.
Yeah. I mean, I think he has a slight chance, but I think it's with the uptick. I think He's moving up, and if he continues to play well, and if Houston continues to win within their ceiling, which is obviously they're not going to be a number one seed in the AFC, but if they somehow can get into that wild card or sneak into winning that division, he's definitely going to be a legitimate contender.
Offensive rookie of the year, at least.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and that is a feat in itself because Houston, one of Houston's best receivers, is a rookie from Houston, University of Houston.
Tank Dell.
And they didn't have much, and Pierce hasn't been running the ball to the same clip, and they've had a lot of injuries on the offensive line. So, and it's a first-year head coach, first-year GM, all that stuff. So, C.J. Stroud is definitely balling. Congrats to him.
I would say DeMeco Ryans for coach of the year is more likely than C.J. Stroud for him.
Yeah, I definitely is on there just because of what he's done to a franchise that was at a low point. But that's the first hour down the drain. Now we're going to retap it up at the top of the hour, get our picks in, and then finish out strong like we always do on a Thursday. This is Old School, Jay Foreman in Austin.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Load up on meat and more this fall at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese and 84th and Havilah. This week's special through November 14th is spend $40 and you'll get to buy one, get one free on 8-ounce prepackaged sirloins. And don't forget to check out their Friday feast this week and every week. Plus, don't forget their 2 new locations now open at 30th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln and 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town. Constructors Inc., a Nebco company, is now hiring heavy equipment mechanics to maintain fleet equipment and vehicle operations. Constructors offers mechanics a competitive salary, 4-day work weeks with overtime options, a $5,000 hiring bonus, a tool allowance, and great benefits. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. Apply today for their mechanic positions. Visit constructorslincoln.com.
Tune in to the Malone Radio Show from 9 to 10 p.m. every Sunday night to learn more about the Malone Center's goal to eliminate multi-generational poverty in Lincoln. It's the Malone Radio Show every Sunday night from 9 to 10 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Muchachos has been Lincoln's leader for New Mexican barbecue for a few years now, and they've expanded into Omaha. That's right, you can get all your favorites like the pipeline burrito with 3 meats, rice, beans, queso, and crushed chips, or any of their great taco options in Lincoln or Omaha. Plus, they want to give back, as the Malachi Coleman Give-A-Rito, a 2-meat hatchback burrito, gives proceeds to the Fly Like Kai Foundation for the Lincoln foster care community. Stop by Muchachos in Lincoln at 11th and L or in Omaha at 1258 South 13th Street.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Is your backyard ready for fun with friends and family this fall? GE Landscape Supply has pavers and boulders, which are a great accent for any landscaping project. And you can find them at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction materials. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere, nearby or far away. Stop by at 6701 Cornhusker Highway from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday to Friday. Go to gelandscapesupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
The Lincoln forecast for today, expecting lots of sunshine throughout the day. Maybe a little breezy this afternoon. Otherwise, we'll see a high around 61. Tonight, mainly clear skies with an overnight low around 28. And tomorrow, more sunshine on the way. We'll see a high around 54. I'm meteorologist Kyle Kleckner for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Elway Power Sports of Lincoln will have you scoring big on savings with up to $3,000 off CF Moto side-by-sides and ATVs. Whether you're looking for a work-tough U-Force or a performance-ready Z-Force, CF Moto has a machine made for you all under one roof at their new 27th and I-80 location. And don't miss their Black Saturday sales event on November 25th with doorbusters and specials throughout the store. Visit their website, elwaypslincoln.com, for more details. Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 10th and P or at 1501 Center Park Road.
A team succeeds when they work together. Banking's no different. At UBT, we're in your corner for every financial move you want to make. Your money's backed by a roster of experts who put in the work to know you and your community. So whether you're opening a savings account, buying a home, or planning your future, you always know who to turn to. Working together toward your financial goals. That's a win in our playbook. Union Bank and Trust. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
College football in Lincoln, America. The time has come. Start your game day off right with the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the ticket crew as they bring you all the coverage you need to get you ready for the action. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show, powered by Sunbelt Rentals. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group of BHHS Ambassador, Select Plumbing, Jimmy John's, Lincoln Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits, Fleet Feet, Yours Cheese Spread on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them, that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back, Old School. Austin J. Foreman, live from the Ticket Studio down here at 1040 O Street. 11th and O if you don't want the direct address. But this is Old School, brought to you by the Mercado, Certified Piedmontese, Special Ingredients and Butcher Shop, 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill. Every type of meat and every type of cut. Definitely go in there, man. It's going to be nice next week, so you got to get you some meat to grill, throw some steaks on the grill, so forth and so on. So beginning the top of this hour, we're going to do our Big Ten picks, and then we're going to do national big game picks in the second one. Then we're going to put a bow on this bad boy, and then do what we need to do after at 6 o'clock. So the first game, or we're going to say the big game for last, though. The big game. But the first game at 11 is Indiana on the road at Illinois. Tom Allen may have had a career, or not a career, but a job-saving win last week against Wisconsin on the road at Illinois, who upset my man Pete J. Fleck. I'm going to go with, I normally would say Illinois.
We going the Hoosiers?
I'm going with Indiana because this reminds me of Michigan State after the whole brawl with Michigan. Guys getting suspended. Illinois had the Big Ten West in their grasp and laid an egg at home dealing with success. That Indiana defense with Aaron Casey, who should be the Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year, they seem to found their quarterback. They got some inspiration on the road. They've been working hard. They've been close. I'm going with Indiana.
I do like their quarterback.
Yeah.
I think they found something there. The win against Wisconsin didn't feel as fluky as I thought it was going to.
Right.
Indiana played probably its best game of the year to do it, but there wasn't a lot there that I would say, nope, they can't do that again.
Right.
I'm going to go with Illinois, though. I think beating Minnesota, even if, Brett Bielema owns that program in his time, was a big step for them. Illinois is desperate to get back in the race. They're not mathematically out of it yet. No one is. They need this one. I think kind of like Matt Rule was saying about Michigan State taking Nebraska more seriously after a couple wins. I think Illinois put a little more into this one after they saw Indiana take down Wisconsin. So I'll take the Illini somewhat close.
I like that one. 1-1. We're already not even agreeing, so it's all good. We'll skip the next game. We'll say Maryland against Huskers and Michigan at Penn State for the last two games. So after that, it's Rutgers, already bowl eligible, going on the road to Iowa City, 2:30. Iowa just had a Iowa victory against Northwestern, 10-7. Now they're at home. Rutgers defense is always testy. Offense has kind of been sporadic. Special teams is excellent. Two teams that are just they're the same. This game might be like 3-3 or 6-3. I'm just going to go with Iowa because they're at home. Mm-hmm. I think the defense, for a defense to shut down a Northwestern offense that had just put up huge numbers and to play with their back against the wall that many times and then to be at home field advantage, I'm going to go with Iowa, but this is not good. For a 2:30 game, which is a primetime game, even on Big Ten Network, this is probably need to be flexed to like 9 a.m. But I'll go with Iowa.
It's hard to pick against Iowa. I mean, they make a living down here. I mean, each week the over-under keeps creeping a point lower, and they keep setting a new record. I think I go with the Hawkeyes as well. Being at home is big, and I still just don't trust Gavin Wimsatt.
Yeah,
I think he's the X factor, kind of like Jason Bean is for Kansas.
Yeah,
Wimsatt can be good. I just don't know if I trust him as a passer yet. And we know Iowa's going to be opportunistic. They're starting to get after the quarterback again. So even if I don't love Iowa's offense, I just think Wimsatt gives it away one too many times.
All right. Right there, we agree. So we're back on good terms. Now the next game at 2:30 on NBC is the Minnesota Golden Gophers, PJ Fleck, on the road at the Purdue Boilermakers with Coach Walters. And Purdue's been playing better. I think they gave Michigan a pretty good test. I think offensively, Michigan's defense is one of the best in the nation, so they're kind of stifled. But I think they, when you turned on the game at the fourth quarter, they were going blow for blow with Michigan. Mm-hmm. But here's the deal. I think the physicality after playing Michigan hurts the team, especially when you got to tee it up against another physical team. I think PJ Fleck has probably got the attention to detail back where he wants. Wasn't very happy after that game against Illinois. I think the Gophers are going to win at Purdue and win big.
You mentioned the response to Michigan. That's what makes Nebraska's win on the road in Champaign a little bit more impressive.
Right.
Even if, Nebraska would say they didn't play its hardest. I mean, you still take, a physical toll when you play Michigan. So for Nebraska to go on the road and do that to Illinois, that's one thing. What does Purdue have to play for? Everything's still in front of Minnesota. I think they're upset with how they played last week, letting that one slip away. Purdue is playing better, but I just think there's more on the line for Minnesota. I think they come out focused. It's going to be close. It's a Big Ten West game, but I'll take the Gophers on the road too.
Yeah, I agree. I'm glad we agree. Here's a tricky. This is probably the trickiest game out of all the whole slate. Northwestern at Wisconsin, 2:30. Braylon Allen, I think, might probably be out for the rest of the season, getting ready for the pros. Northwestern, it's like every other week that offense with Sullivan is going to be explosive. Explosive 2 weeks ago, not so much last week. Might be explosive this week. Wisconsin is still, I think, reeling from not having Braylon Allen. The defense is opportunistic, not the same Wisconsin defense. Ooh, and I, you know what, the Northwestern and the job that coaching staff has done has been more than commendable, and might be able to stick around if they pull this one off. But in my opinion, I think Wisconsin holds serve at home, and particularly the home field advantage. The defense will play better. I think the offense will play better as well. It will be a tight game, but I'm going to pick the Wisconsin Badgers.
It's really hard to pick against Wisconsin at Camp Randall against Northwestern, but I think to a much lesser degree, we wrote Northwestern off exactly like we did Colorado. Year one, look at all the turmoil, all the tumult. What do those guys have to play for? It's on the table. Did they go winless? 0-12's on the table. Worst team in their division. They're not playing like it. We know what Colorado's done, but Northwestern has been sneaky tough. Maybe we should have expected that from a program that does
always
that
been tough,
year in, year out. That they lost, the heart and soul, the center of their program and Pat Fitzgerald in a lot of ways, but the guys are still there. Bowl eligibility is still on the table for Northwestern. It's an uphill climb.
Oh, they got 3 winnable games.
They do. So I probably give Wisconsin the edge just because it's hard to imagine Northwestern going up to Camp Randall and beating them. But that would be one of the bigger wrenches thrown into this Big Ten West race over the last 3 weeks that could really swing the outcome of who ends up going to Indy.
So who do you got? Wisconsin?
Yeah, I'll take the Badgers close.
All right. Yeah. So then I'm sure we're going to be lock and step with this Michigan State on the road, even though they just beat Nebraska.
Hey, don't let them get hot. Watch it. No, I'm kidding.
At Ohio State, I think Ohio State does what it does, and they're number one team, and they're just getting healthy. It seems like they're getting better. And if McCord can start to find some continuity against a tough physical defensive line, they'll be setting themselves up for a pretty good battle against Michigan. But I'm thinking Ohio State's going to win.
Hey, just don't let the Heisman campaign starting from Marvin Harrison Jr. get in the way. Don't let it distract you. Heads focused, Buckeyes.
Yeah, I don't think they have anybody that can cover him. So we've got 2 more games left. The signature game is Michigan on the road at Penn State. Obviously, there's a lot going on up there in Ann Arbor. You never know if there's going to be any ruling on whether Harbaugh is going to be suspended or not. You hear anywhere from suspended for indefinitely, 2 games, plus a hefty fine. You could not be bowl eligible. You just never know what's going to happen or if anything's going to happen. Just a distraction, regardless of how mentally tough you are. It's a lot of energy going into things that doesn't have to do on the field. Penn State at home, the perfect scenario for James Franklin, right? You thought about going to Ohio State. This is your best team. It's still on the road with a young quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
After that game, Drew Aller has been phenomenal, and they're playing at home. Potentially, I don't think it's a whiteout. They don't do whiteouts in the mid-morning.
They don't.
Yeah.
Night games.
But it's still a home game with your best team, one of the best defenses. Want some get back from last year with a team is somewhat distracted and a little bit of a wounded duck. And Michigan's on the road. But I'm going to pick Michigan. Here's why I'm going to pick Michigan. For whatever reason, I think they have all bought in on being the bad guy. They're fake tough guys, but they're bad. They're playing the bad guys. And I think that they're going through the turmoil earlier in the season makes this just par for the course. They haven't had a week off.
Nope.
Right? Of, questions and having to answer stuff. I think they can run the ball. I think their defense will stifle Penn State. And I think they do enough with J.J. McCarthy explosiveness-wise in the QB run game and the pass game to score enough points and win this game on the road at Penn State.
Penn State built to beat Ohio State, who was running that division for so long. It worked out in 2016. They've given Ohio State some good games. Michigan, especially over the last few years, has had Penn State's number. Even if it's been close at halftime, Michigan's pulled away. Having the signs is an equalizer. We can't pretend like Michigan is just going to stop using them. They already have them. They're going to put them to work. I want so badly to take Penn State. I was so in on them. I loved their 2-headed monster at running back. I loved that defense. I'm a big Drew Aller guy too.
Yeah.
But they just haven't won that game that makes me be confident in picking them. So as much as I want to, as much as I feel like this could be the one, it always could be the one for Penn State. So I
and
begrudgingly,
James Franklin. He hasn't had a signature victory.
Not since 2016.
Yeah.
So I begrudgingly take the Wolverines.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's just wait and see. You talk about Penn State 2-headed monster running back. You got Potts, who transferred in from Minnesota, who is a 1,000-yard, previous 1,000-yard, the third back, just wants to be close to home because he's from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. So it lets you know the depth that they have if they get into a 3 yards in cloud of dust battle. Now,
if Wisconsin had Potts, they'd be sitting fine. I mean, they had Allen, but he's hurt now. Malusi's been out for so long. They're down to RB3. If they had an RB3 like Trey Potts, they'd be fine.
They'd be fine, yeah. And that's just not normal for Wisconsin because they just get guys that can tote the pill just off the tree. So the game, that's really important for both teams, right? Maryland has reeled ever since of the letdown and getting beat by Ohio State. They lost the next week to Illinois. They just been on a 4-game losing
4 in a row.
4 in a row. They are reeling, and they come on the road against a team that in Nebraska maybe let themselves down. Obviously it's no fair dodging, but they lost to Ohio State, barely lost to Illinois. They pretty much got the brakes beat off them against Northwestern. Maybe just didn't take them seriously. Made it close late. Kind of like what they call a backdoor cover or something like that. And then Penn State really torculated on them. Now you're on the road against a team that is going to be upset in Nebraska. How they played and having pride about themselves. I think I'm going to pick Nebraska because I think that defense is going to be out to prove something. I think the crowd is going to be raucous. I think they're going to be looking forward to this. I think this is going to be the game that the offense kind of gets out of his own way and takes advantage of Maryland's aggressiveness on defense, because I think their defense is kind of like their offense, boom or bust, right? Where they take a lot of chances. Now they'll get some tackles for losses, but then in the run game will give you tons of lanes. We've seen that last week against Penn State. So I think Nebraska wins, and that's who I'm picking.
Right now, I'm siding with the Terps. Come back tomorrow, come back Saturday. Maybe I'll be siding with Nebraska. But right now, I have more questions than I would have thought about Nebraska's pass defense, especially with DBs. I think Quentin Newsom's going to be fine. Hartzog is trending toward being back. How does he look in his return? Safeties are still working their way back into it. Omar Brown's been solid. How much Marquise Buford do we see? Phelan Sanford, Isaac Gifford in that kind of rover spot. What does he look like? But 3 of the top 8 passing combinations, Talia Tagovailoa and his top 3 wide receivers, they're tough to stop. They got plenty of weapons. I like Hemby. His numbers aren't, jump off the page at you, but I still think he's a darn good running back. And Maryland's looking at this as their chance to get right.
Right.
I think from the outside, you would say 2 of their losses are defensible and 2 of them are, they were upset. You lose to Ohio State. You played them tough, but they pulled away at the end. Penn State was, not that big a deficit all game. But then the loss to Illinois really puzzled me. And then Northwestern to be down 2 possessions that late, score that late touchdown, little surprising. I think Maryland looks at this as a get right kind of day. The conditions should be good enough for their passing attack, not have to worry about it too much. And over 2,000 passing yards for Talia already. 21 touchdowns is impressive. 7 picks, he will give it to you.
Right.
But I don't know if Nebraska has gotten enough pressure consistently to make me think he will on Saturday right now.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be it's going to be a defensive battle. Nebraska's defense, are they able to keep them under 31 points? That's what they score generally every game. So keep them out of explosive plays and keep them out of the end zone.
And I think Nebraska's got to get 30.
Right.
30 is the number that I start feeling pretty good about
close to 30. If Nebraska scores 30 points with the way that they play, Nebraska wins by 2 scores.
It should look like Purdue if Nebraska hits 30.
Yeah, so if they do, then they're there. So that's our predictions. We're going to keep going here because we still got some time before the break. So you asked me during our break about my main man, Lane Kiffin, about the $40 million lawsuit filed by a player. Essentially, correct me if I'm wrong, the player took a 2-week break for mental health. Lane Kiffin had reached out to him periodically. He ghosted the coach, and then he came back, and Lane was not very happy. And in the former Ole Miss defensive tackle, DeSante Rollins, recorded him. Obviously, he didn't tell Lane that he was recording him. And Lane kicked him off the team. And, for not being accountable, essentially, is not returning a text message, not returning a phone call. The choice of language was not, very nice. But to be honest with you, from a coach's standpoint, at that point in time, he obviously, I think, Lane. Now, here's what I do know about Lane. Lane was reaching out to him just to check on him. I do believe that.
Right.
And any coach would be frustrated, and depends on what time of the season or whatever the dynamics was outside of it.
This would have been in September.
Yeah, so the conversation would not be very pleasant if I didn't hear from you in 2 weeks. That's anybody. And he chose to kick him off the team, and maybe it was because of what was talked about before being recorded. I just don't like somebody recording the head coach without him knowing. I think that's unfair because, first of all, the whole conversation isn't there, and you don't know all the facts of how much they tried to help him or all that. It'd be different if, from what this is saying, that Lane said, no, you can't have 2 weeks off when you have a mental health crisis. I don't think that was the case. It's always the one thing about, especially, this is what people also don't understand. In the Big Ten, it isn't a year-to-year contract on your scholarship. Down in the SEC, it is. Every year, essentially, your scholarship has to be renewed. You don't know if there's prior disciplinary actions, right? This is not going to bat for Lane. This is just playing as devil's advocate. It'll be interesting to see what happens. It'll be interesting to see how this affects this game against Georgia. And this is where the lawyers get really strategic on when they release it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Probably some conversation before about a payment or what we're going to do prior.
Settlement of some sort, yeah.
Told you to go fly a kite. This is the biggest game in Lane Kiffin's career, because if they win this one, they're right in the college football playoff scene.
Mm-hmm.
And this is if he wins, this is verifying the pay bump that he got, and he didn't go to Auburn, I think it was last year.
Yep.
Right. And so there's a lot on it personally for Lane. Now, look, Ole Miss isn't going to fire Lane. But again, you know, he's prideful. He wants to, get Ole Miss back to what he thinks he can get. And this comes out, and there's no right time for it. But it's the time is now. I'm sure, DeSanto Rollins does not feel good about, having his business out there. I'm not sure if he's playing anywhere right now. There's no winner in this situation. It's very unfortunate.
It really is. And for all those reasons you mentioned, but I'll also say this about Lane. Obviously you know him, but at least from, again, the outside perspective of think about Lane at USC and at Tennessee. He's, coach's kid. He's flying up the ranks, getting some jobs that maybe other people wouldn't have at a young age.
Right.
He fails very publicly, gets left on the tarmac, not too long ago, this day in history. For Lane to do what he did, to go to the, Saban rehab school, be offensive coordinator, get another head coaching job, I feel like Lane Kiffin, at least from the outside, again, kind of matured, took that step forward, learned some lessons, and was putting them to use. And I think the initial reaction from some people would be, oh, he reverted. Yeah. He's back to, trying to be a tough guy. He's not handling his stress of Georgia week well, yada, yada. Again, but without knowing the context, it's hard for me to say that's the case. Lane did a lot of image rehab, necessary or not, right or wrong or not. He did. So, like you said, strategically for this to come out during Georgia week.
Yeah.
Obviously, beating Saban, his mentor, who gave him another chance, would be big. But he worked with Kirby.
Yeah.
Let's not pretend like this isn't a measuring stick game too.
Yeah, they had some battles in practice. I'm gonna tell you about. Let's just call them prideful offense and defensive coordinators. You have a couple practices when they get off script or there's success. There's some jawing going back and forth, and it wouldn't say hatred, but there's some animosity,
some
ego, and that's what you want. And they know each other. They've battled each other in practice. Lane wants what Kirby has, which is 2 national championships and essentially a strong chokehold on the SEC. And Kirby wants to keep Ole Miss down right where they think they should be. So this is a benchmark game for both of them. If you're Georgia, you want to show, listen, we're still dominant. We're getting there, but we still got it.
Haven't gone anywhere.
And so, like I said, it's just unfortunate all the way around. You can see it from both sides. I don't think Lane was dummying down the mental health crisis. Maybe his use of language and not being very empathetic, but then at the time it was being recorded, we can agree with that.
That's the thing I'll say too, real quick, is that you don't like Lane being recorded. I don't either, right? I mean, some conversations just need to happen in that room, kind of like what Bielema did. He made a statement on Michigan today when he was asked about it. The way Brett Bielema presented it didn't sound the same as the reports coming out of the coaches only meeting.
Right.
They handled it in private. You get a sense of what went on, but you don't know all the business. Now this business is being aired. Even if it's, legal, one party consent state and all that, I still don't like the move. But at the same time, Lane, you've been a head coach for how long? Like, don't you just kind of assume?
Yeah, assume the worst. I mean, talk about the numerous times they've reached out to him and with no avail, you probably assume that, I guess you hate this, assume a player on your team, regardless of the situation, would come in with an agenda, but maybe you have to do it to protect yourself. See, and then, for me, at first, if you walk into somebody's office, they look, we have a no cell phone policy. Put your cell phone in the, dish, right? No recording or whatever, or leave your bag outside. Now you have to now because he has to protect himself. So or do you get to the point that every conversation is recorded? Then now, if I'm talking to you about something personal, now you have record of it. So I don't like it, either way. I just think it's unfortunate. Probably from both sides. Probably when you sit back and look at it, could be not recorded, but dealt with differently, but here we are in this time, and it's unfortunate for Lane because I think this is a tremendous opportunity for him. Won't be his last, but obviously with a big personality and being Ole Miss and all that, it's just not a good time. So that's my thoughts on that. Along with Austin, we're going to take a break. Then we're going to come back and pick some more big games, regardless if they're the teams are ranked. Because look, we got ranked teams against unranked teams. You got Miami going against Florida State, right? So essentially, Florida State's number 4. They got to stay on path. Miami wants to beat them up. You got Arizona against Colorado, which I think is a sneaky good game. You got Louisville against Virginia. So you got a ton of really good games. You got Tennessee trying to get back right against Missouri, who could sneak in there and sneaky good, and be a top 10 program. Plenty to talk about, plenty to pick. Jay Foreman, Austin. We'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
Is your backyard ready for fun with friends and family this fall? GE Landscape Supply has pavers and boulders, which are a great accent for any landscaping project. And you can find them at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction materials. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere, nearby or far away. Stop by at 6701 Cornhusker Highway from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday to Friday. Go to gelandscapesupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
The holidays are drawing closer, and there's not many things better than getting the gift of relaxation. Not just for yourself, but for anyone in your life. During November, for every service you get at the Body Shop, you get entered into their drawing for a free massage gift certificate equal to your last service. This goes all the way to the week before Christmas, so book your appointments now at thebodyshoplincoln.com and treat yourself and loved ones today. The Body Shop at 48th and A.
Muchachos has been Lincoln's leader for New Mexican barbecue for a few years now, and they've expanded into Omaha. That's right, you can get all your favorites like the pipeline burrito with 3 meats, rice, beans, queso, and crushed chips, or any of their great taco options in Lincoln or Omaha. Plus, they want to give back, as the Malachi Coleman Give-A-Rito, a 2-meat hatchback burrito, gives proceeds to the Fly Like Kai Foundation for the Lincoln foster care community. Stop by Muchachos in Lincoln at 11th and L or in Omaha at 1258 South 13th Street.
All right, Rico, let's do the final checklist before we head out. We have a lot of people coming to the tailgate today.
I'm ready.
Burgers? Check. Chips? Check. Icy cold beer? Check.
Except this one.
I'm forgetting something. Wait a second. Where's the Führer's cheese spread?
I can't stop eating it.
Rico!
Relax. I always pack extra. It's the biggest hit of the tailgate.
For the best appetizer, party dip, and tailgate snack, load up on Führer's cheese spread today. Found in most local grocery stores.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive. Always honest answers.
Tune in to the Malone Radio Show from 9 to 10 p.m. every Sunday night to learn more about the Malone Center's goal to eliminate multi-generational poverty in Lincoln. It's the Malone Radio Show every Sunday night from 9 to 10 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You don't think about your roof very often, but you should never take it for granted. Roofing Service Company takes every measure to provide you with the highest quality roofing solution. Whether it's a new roof installation, roof repair, or a re-roofing project, their overall goal is to provide you with a pleasant experience and a long-lasting roof. If you have a need for siding or gutters, they're your place too. Visit roofingservicecompany.com for more info today. Elway Power Sports of Lincoln will have you scoring big on savings with up to $3,000 off CF Moto side-by-sides and ATVs. Whether you're looking for a work-tough U-Force or a performance-ready Z-Force, CF Moto has a machine made for you all under one roof at their new 27th and I-80 location. And don't miss their Black Saturday sales event on November 25th with doorbusters and specials throughout the store. Visit their website, elwaypslincoln.com for more details.
Whether you're looking for a place to stay for a concert at PBA, a Nebraska home game, or just a night on the town, the Courtyard Lincoln Downtown Haymarket is the place for you. Enjoy an evening at one of many restaurants or bars within a short walking distance. Business travelers at the hotel will enjoy free high-speed internet access, a 24-hour business center, and large in-room workstations. And check out the Bistro, where you'll enjoy healthier food and beverage options, as well as high-tech conveniences. Book your room today at the Courtyard Lincoln Downtown Haymarket.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
The Lincoln forecast for today, expecting lots of sunshine throughout the day, maybe a little breezy this afternoon. Otherwise, we'll see a high around 61. Tonight, mainly clear skies with an overnight low around 28. And tomorrow, more sunshine on the way. We'll see a high around 54. I'm meteorologist Kyle Clucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Oh, man. J4 with Austin. We are back old school, middle of the 5 o'clock hour. Darkness is upon us. That's the one thing when you, what is it, fall back, right? Fall back. It definitely falls back with the light. We're here. We did our Big Ten picks, excuse me. Now we're going to just pick some interesting games this week. We had the little Mac Tuesday action. Tonight, you got Virginia at Louisville. That was one that I mentioned before. I'm going to pick Louisville, but I think Virginia showed some uptick. They showed some life. They showed, maybe they're getting out of that black cloud of the unfortunate where a couple of players were not only shot, but, killed on campus. But I think they're on the road at Louisville. Braum has done an excellent job. He went there for the reason to be on a bigger, scale. First year, he's got them rolling. They were talented when he got there, but he's taken that team, and they're a physical, fast defense. I actually like watching them play, so I want to pick Louisville.
Yeah, I will too. Virginia might score a few points, but I think Louisville wins it relatively handily.
Yeah. The other game, the team that was left for dead, with quarterback issues. Obviously, one of the greatest college coaches of all time, went back to the original quarterback on the road at Kentucky. Now, look, I always say this. I'm going to pick Bama, but Nick Saban has a unique history at Kentucky. When he was at LSU and they were about to lose to Kentucky when they had Jared Lorenzen, they threw a Hail Mary pass.
Oh, was that the Bluegrass Miracle or whatever?
Went off the defender's helmet, scored, end up winning a national title. I don't think it's that close. Stoops has been asking for NIL money, trying to say it's a football school. Kentucky is a better program with him, the coach, but he's meeting his maker. I'm going to pick Alabama.
Yeah, Kentucky might keep it close for a half. I wouldn't be shocked if they give Alabama a little bit of trouble. At least Alabama's offense. I still don't fully trust it, but they're starting to get some stuff figured out. So writing Jalen Milroe off after 3 games maybe wasn't the move. Yeah. Bama's very quietly in pole position in the SEC West after a lot of people wrote him off early on. So they're clearly on the outside looking into the college football playoff discussion, but that's where old coach Nick wants to be.
Yeah. Next game is it's a cool game because Jedd Fisch was a offensive like analyst. When I was in Houston, and he was great. One of the nicest guys, as far as just him as a person, and one of the best coaches. I like when I knew him, and actually he was a defensive analyst, so he worked with us, but he had an offensive background, so it was really good. I used to talk to him about what to look for. Really good coach. Has been all around, been a quarterback coach and do that. Always a smile on his face, and now to see him take the leap and take that Arizona job and have that year last year where you kind of got you got the extension and have the USC loss where he went for 2. I like it. And then rebound, has a really good staff, right? He's got Scotty Graham, former NFL player.
That's right.
NFLPA executive. He's got Chuck Cecil on staff, Ricky Hundley, and a lot of guys that have Arizona ties. He has Teddy Bruschi as an advisory role. He's doing it right. They're on the road up there. Look at Nick. Back from giving his speech on campus at Colorado. Colorado's reeling right now, right? You get rid of you don't get rid of the offensive coordinator. You demote him to try to get some different continuity. The defense actually starting to play good. I think it's still another week. Arizona is a big physical team. They have a top 10 pick as an offensive tackle, a really good quarterback, even though he's only 5'10", 5'11". I'm going to pick against my man Dion because I'm going to be truthful. I'm going to pick Arizona.
I think this is a shootout. I think this is a classic Pac-12 track
At
meet,
night,
and I'm here for it.
Yeah.
So give me the Wildcats. I've been impressed with them. The hottest team in college football, all that. I thought UCLA was going to put a stop to that last week. They didn't. I'm impressed with what Jed Fish is doing.
Yeah, and Dion and his team like playing at 1 p.m. They do not like those night games. Grandpa Dion don't like playing. The next game, which is a game that I grew up watching, right? I grew up in it as a Miami Hurricane fan. Still am, just because obviously all my family went there. And the big game was, when does Miami play Florida State? Obviously, wide right and wide left has always been something that been near and dear to me. Miami, I was down there for my dad's induction. They beat Clemson. I watched them trick it off against Georgia Tech. They lost last week, hadn't looked good. Van Slyke has been hurt, so their offense has kind of been stymied, and their running game has been pretty good. They have a former Husker down there, and he's doing well. But Florida State is for real. I think what they did last season, coming out the box and beating up LSU, doubling down on it this year. They got Coleman, they got Travis as the quarterback, they got a host of receivers, a very good, big and fast defense, and they have Miami at home. Listen, no spread here. Listen, doesn't matter if Miami is 3-6, even though they're 6-3, and Florida State's 9-0. That don't mean anything. These dudes are playing for pride. Okay, these two universities hate each other. But I hope my dad's not listening. I hope he's not listening.
Don't make your pick. We can just leave it at that. Yeah. You've given your analysis.
Yeah, I'm not gonna give my pick. I'm gonna pump the brakes on this.
Your dad can take his anger out on me. I will take Florida State, being at home, everything to play for. Quarterback banged up for Miami, not a lot of rhythm there. I hope it's a slugfest. I hope it's a classic game that we're talking about. I just think Florida State's a little too much right now.
Yeah, the next game is the Utah Utes, the Fighting DPs, on the road at Washington. Washington is back, got their rhythm now. Utah is 7-2, trying to just stay alive in a tough physical team. I think they've rebounded without Reasoning not being available this year. But I'm going to go with Michael Penix Jr. and 3 NFL receivers and a fast defense. I'm going to go with the Washington Huskies.
My gut says Washington, but there's this little corner of my brain that says, is this the game for Utah?
This will be a game. This is it.
Yeah. Usually it would be in Salt Lake City. If this was a game in Utah, I'm taking the Utah game. Right. Given that Washington has found a way to win when it hasn't been at its best, I think they know they have to get up for this one.
Right.
Utah's not full strength, but they're still good enough. They're well coached.
Physical too.
Physical as heck. Little bit of me wants to pick Utah. I just don't have the cojones for it.
I think
Huskies.
Utah isn't Utah this year, but they're still. I think they'll end up a top 15 team. Just the injury bug has got them. The next game here, which is 2 teams that are looking just right at each other, playing for a New Year's Day bowl, New Year's Six bowl. Tennessee on the road at Missouri. Columbia, Missouri is a now a tough place to play. Missouri is for if you listen. I'm by no means a Missouri fan. Right?
You step down the side of the road and all that.
Yeah, because I peed down there on their sign. If I got to go again, I'll do it again. And I might even post it on Instagram, right on the ticket, right on the ticket.
Instagram Live.
Right. They're a good team. I like their coach. I like their talent. I like their defense. I really like their offense. You know what it is Tennessee is looking at Missouri. Missouri is the Tennessee of last year.
Sure.
And Tennessee, even though they're ranked 13, isn't the 13th ranked team. I'm going to go with Missouri for the simple fact they're at home and they've been more consistent, and the momentum for them is going on the uptick. I'm going to go with Missouri Tigers.
Home underdogs a week after giving Georgia a good game.
Yeah.
I know Missouri's pretty legit. I thought Georgia was going to turn it on last week. They didn't. So I'm going to credit Missouri for that more so than hold it against Georgia. So being home underdogs, everything to play for. I mean, Luther Burden is a stud. I don't know if Tennessee can do much to slow that guy down. And hey, I might have some in-laws listening too. So MIZ.
Yeah. All right, we got 2 more games. This next one, we talked a little bit about it with Lane Kiffin in the segment before. Ole Miss on the road. What do they call it? Between the hedges?
Between the hedges.
Between the hedges down there at Georgia. 6 p.m. prime time. Listen, this game is going to have tons of drama. Great opportunity for Ole Miss, but I'm going to go with Georgia. And I think Georgia's just going to Georgia. They're going to play decent defense. Brock Bowers is practicing this week. I don't think he's going to play. The quarterback is actually starting to play better.
Beck's finding it.
Beck's starting to play, and they're starting to get some rhythm. And I think just they're at home. And I think there's too much drama around this Ole Miss. I don't think it's going to affect Lane. It might affect the team. I think they might want it too much. Georgia's been here and done that, and they're coming off of playing Missouri, so they're battle tested. So I'm going to go with Georgia to hold serve at home.
Ole Miss's loss was Alabama. If they beat Alabama, I might have taken them in this game, but it just goes to show you just being entrenched in college football is a big deal.
Right.
Having that track record of playing in big games. Ole Miss has been in this spot a lot of times under Hugh Freeze, under Lane Kiffin. And I don't want to say they find a way to lose, like Clemsoning, but they're always just that half step behind the elite teams.
Yep. 7 points. 7 points is just they can't get under that
hump.
7. Yeah, just over that hump.
If Carson Beck wasn't taking that step forward, I might be tempted to take Ole Miss, but he's taking a step in the right direction.
Too late in the
so
season,
I like
he's
Georgia.
starting to catch wind. Yeah, I believe I'm right there with you. Actually, let's do 2 more games real quick because I think this game that I'm going to add here is very interesting. Right? It's Florida on the road at LSU, 19th ranked LSU. LSU, when the season started, there was thought of to be a college football playoff team. Daniels is off the chains. Brian Kelly is Brian Kelly. I know he's making excuses now, but Florida is starting to play decent football under Napier, right? You got an old Wisconsin quarterback and all that stuff, and they're scoring points. Remember last year they couldn't score more than 10 points. They're really lighting it up now. But I'll pick LSU at home because it's Death Valley, and I'm sure they're going to have everything. They're going to put some voodoo on them boys and everything. But I think this game is going to go down to the last possession. Florida's going to come ready to play. LSU is going to come ready to play. It's going to come down. I think this game is going to be a shootout, just for the fact of the way these two teams are playing. But I'm going to pick LSU.
It's Death Valley. It's late at night. Jane Daniels is a better quarterback than Graham Mertz. But Florida gets revenge for the College World Series.
Okay, I like that.
LSU takes Florida out in Omaha. Florida goes to LSU's building.
Austin.
Graham Mertz goes for 3.5 bills through the air, a couple tutties. Gators.
You know what, Austin? Since you just built me up like that, had me on the edge of the cliff, I'm gonna bypass the USC Oregon because I think Oregon. We're gonna focus on, Austin.
Tobacco Road.
You know this, right? Now this isn't if it's a basketball, I'll just let you go. It's Duke on the road against an underachieving North Carolina team with a potential number 1 pick in the draft. Maybe it was up for the Heisman, most likely not. Duke is going to pack their defense. Offense is yet to be seen after Leonard is out. I'm going to pick Carolina only because Leonard's not playing. Obviously, they'd be ranked if he was.
Yeah.
But this is going to be a sock 'em or rock 'em, sock 'em. This is going to be a physical game, a personal game. But I'm going to still pick Carolina because of the quarterback.
I can't argue with that logic. I will go with my head and not my heart on this one. Duke covers. They make it close. They make it interesting. They've done that all year, even with Leonard out. But I just think ultimately a little bit too much out of the Tar Heels and Chapel Hill.
I got you. Well, those are our picks. We're going to go to a quick break and come back, and we're going to do a little bit of Husker men's basketball talk. Send you off and throw it over to my man Eastrick, Jay Foreman, Austin. Old School. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Load up on meat and more this fall at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese and 84th and Havelock. This week's special through November 14th is spend $40 and you'll get to buy one, get one free on 8-ounce prepackaged sirloins. And don't forget to check out their Friday feast this week and every week. Plus, don't forget their 2 new locations now open at 30th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln and 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town. Constructors Inc., a Nebco company, is now hiring heavy equipment mechanics to maintain fleet equipment and vehicle operations. Constructors offers mechanics a competitive salary, 4-day work weeks with overtime options, a $5,000 hiring bonus, a tool allowance, and great benefits. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. Apply today for their mechanic positions. Visit constructorslincoln.com.
At Fairway Meat Market, you're family. And as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Thanksgiving is near, and Fairway is now taking orders for fresh turkeys, holiday hams, prime ribs, holiday trays, and more. Save yourself the stress of waiting until the last minute and order ahead this year for your holiday meals at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center just south of 84th and Van Dorn. Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
A team succeeds when they work together. Banking's no different. At UBT, we're in your corner for every financial move you want to make. Your money's backed by a roster of experts who put in the work to know you and your community. So whether you're opening a savings account, buying a home, or planning your future, you always know who to turn to. Working together toward your financial goals. That's a win in our playbook. Union Bank and Trust. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Muchachos has been Lincoln's leader for New Mexican barbecue for a few years now, and they've expanded into Omaha. That's right, you can get all your favorites like the pipeline burrito with 3 meats, rice, beans, queso, and crushed chips, or any of their great taco options in Lincoln or Omaha. Plus, they want to give back, as the Malachi Coleman Give-A-Rito, a 2-meat hatchback burrito, gives proceeds to the Fly Like Kai Foundation for the Lincoln foster care community. Stop by Muchachos in Lincoln at 11th and L or in Omaha at 1258 South 13th Street.
Elway Power Sports of Lincoln will have you scoring big on savings with up to $3,000 off CF Moto side-by-sides and ATVs. Whether you're looking for a work-tough U-Force or a performance-ready Z-Force, CF Moto has a machine made for you all under one roof at their new 27th and I-80 location. And don't miss their Black Saturday sales event on November 25th with doorbusters and specials throughout the store. Visit their website, elwaypslincoln.com, for more details.
Houses? They're expensive. And once you buy one, you're kind of stuck with it for a while. You need to make sure you get your best house for the best price. You need Ben Bleicher and his team of pros at Professional Realty Group. They'll take the time to figure out what's important for you in your dream home, and they have the expertise to find the hidden issues that could surprise you after the sale. That's professional knowledge, proactive service. We call that potential. Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's Home Service Ambassador. Find more online at prg-ne.com.
Gary Michaels Clothiers celebrates 40 years of serving Nebraskans in the men's clothing industry. 40 years of some of the most memorable moments. In our way of thanking you for 40 years, we are offering a 40% discount on any single one item in the store. 40% off any suit, sport coat, slack, sport shirt, sweater, outerwear, or shoes. To receive your 40% off on one item, be there by November 11th. Gary Michaels, 40% off for 40 years, located at 56th and Pine Lake Road, Lincoln.
Gray Diesel and Equipment Services is hiring and seeking motivated applicants. Gray offers a second-to-none benefit package that includes health, dental, vision, 401k, paid vacation, and paid holidays. They offer great pay and tuition reimbursement or a tool purchase program for qualified candidates. It's a fun, friendly team with lots of variety and work assignments, so there's something for everybody. View and apply for their job openings today at grayusa.com or visit them in person just off I-80 and North 56th Street. Come be a part of the Gray difference.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and the holiday season is upon us. And wow, do we have some really awesome incentives to share with you. Right now at Koppel, we're offering 0.9% interest rates or $6,000 off select Chevrolet and GMC models. Yes, you heard right, 0.9% or $6,000 off select new models. In addition, Costco customers can get special incentives for this entire month. So please take that short money-saving drive down 144th Street or check us out at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. All offers include trade-in bonus with approved credit.
All right, Rico, let's do the final checklist before we head out. We have a lot of people coming to the tailgate today. I'm ready. Burgers? Check. Chips? Check. Icy cold beer? Check. Except this one. I'm forgetting something. Wait a second. Where's the Führer's cheese spread? I can't stop eating it. Rico, relax. I always pack extra. It's the biggest hit of the tailgate.
For the best appetizer, party dip, and tailgate snack, load up on Führer's cheese spread today. Found in most local grocery stores.
The captain, Vershawn Jackson.
Can you give us like two things that's going down at the bottom of the car?
It's punching in the stomach, ankle twisting. Sounds like a haunted house when it's like 18 people piled up on the ground. Sounds like
There's rumors of twisting.
Yeah, we did that. We're not ashamed of it.
Twisting everywhere?
Yeah, we twist anything.
Oh.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, we the black shirts. We play like that.
That didn't happen.
It's I'm serious. I witnessed it. I did it. I contributed to it.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back, old school. Quick segment before we send you guys off. What we got, Austin? National thing, probably.
Either that or DPE.
Okay,
one
DP,
of those two.
Yeah,
things.
one of those two. Something's going to be popping. But before we do that, the Huskers take on the Florida A&M Rattlers, who played Creighton 2 nights ago. Creighton is, I think they're a top 5 or 6 team for sure, right? I mean, they got to be. I mean, they're for real.
As much as I bash on Carolina, like that is made much more public at this radio station, I have the same level of disdain for Creighton. They keep flaming out in March. Sure, they're making it maybe around.
They had a good game against Arizona, man.
They did, but I will say Creighton is a top 15 team for sure. They got to earn top 10
until further notice.
Until further notice.
Yeah, I like the way they play.
I do too, and that's what makes me so upset. I want that for us.
And the thing is, they're tough.
They are.
And you know what's funny is I was doing a charity event, and somehow they had a couple of Creighton players there. And I got to stand next to Ryan Kalkbrenner. He a big dude, man. He big, like big.
He's
like,
5 pieces of spaghetti with a meatball
but
on
he's
top.
7'1" and 270 pounds. And then they had the left-handed dude, Shireman. Yeah, and he said his younger brother's a football player, and he's a sniper too. So, but Florida A&M against our Huskers. Obviously, I think the Huskers are going to win. It'll be good just to see progress, right? And you see, you still. I think K-State is still out. Gary's suspended, waiting for Mamel to come back. But I think look, Sam Hoiberg and company, do your thing. This is a time to really get continuity. Good time to get out to a good lead. I want to see us do a better job on the boards. I think I think team rebounding, which I think we did well at times last year, needs to be an emphasis. Obviously more just Josiah Alec and Rick. What's his name? Rick Mast. Rick Mast. I'm gonna call him Mask. Yep. And those two got to do well and onward and upward. And I just want to see good play, low turnovers, intensity on defense, continuity on offense, multiple groups coming in, and then wait for the full gamut of those guys that come back, and then we'll be rolling. So appreciate you guys listening. Thanks again to Kevin Meyer, Thirsty Thursday. DPE is next. DeMornay Pearsonell. Don't punt, bad boy right there. So we are signing off, and we will talk to you tomorrow.
Houses? They're expensive. And once you buy one, you're kind of stuck with it for a while. You need to make sure you get your best house for the best price. You need Ben Bleicher and his team of pros at Professional Realty Group. They'll take the time to figure out what's important for you in your dream home, and they have the expertise to find the hidden issues that could surprise you after the sale. That's professional knowledge, proactive service. We call that potential. Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's Home Service Ambassador. Find more online at prg-ne.com.
Constructors Inc., a Nebco company, is now hiring heavy equipment mechanics to maintain fleet equipment and vehicle operations. Constructors offers mechanics a competitive salary, 4-day work weeks with overtime options, a $5,000 hiring bonus, a tool allowance, and great benefits. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. Apply today for their mechanic positions. Visit constructorslincoln.com.
Gary Michaels Clothiers celebrates 40 years of serving Nebraskans in the men's clothing industry. 40 years of some of the most memorable moments. In our way of thanking you for 40 years, we are offering a 40% discount on any single one item in the store. 40% off any suit, sport coat, slack, sport shirt, sweater, outerwear, or shoes. To receive your 40% off on one item, be there by November 11th. Gary Michaels, 40% off for 40 years, located at 56th and Pine Lake Road, Lincoln.
At Fairway Meat Market, you're family. And as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Thanksgiving is near, and Fairway is now taking orders for fresh turkeys, holiday hams, prime ribs, holiday trays, and more. Save yourself the stress of waiting until the last minute and order